The film opens with a couple named Orna and her unnamed husband. That day, Orna was looking for work to help support her family financially. Luckily, she was accepted as an assistant and marketer at a company. Meanwhile, her husband worked as a cook at a restaurant and earned a modest salary. The next day, Orna went to work for the first time, where her boss, Benny, invited her to meet the other employees. Orna's job was to accompany Benny everywhere he went, including visiting projects the company was working on. After work, Orna visited her mother and told her that she had been hired. Orna also promised that when she received her first paycheck, she would buy her mother a gift. After only a few days on the job, Orna had already received numerous gifts, both from clients and Benny himself. This made her even more excited and happy. If Orna was happy, her husband felt the same way. To celebrate, they made love repeatedly that night. In the following days, Orna carried out her work responsibly. She began to be trusted to attend important meetings and demonstrate her best abilities in presentations. However, in the middle of the trip, something unexpected happened. Due to her satisfactory work performance, Benny suddenly kissed Orna. She was shocked and felt it shouldn't have happened. Despite this, Benny tried to act as if the incident had never happened and tried to make Orna feel comfortable again. Some time later, Benny made Orna happy again. He promised to give her money so she could find a bigger apartment, as well as an additional bonus at the end of the year. Hearing this, Orna couldn't hide her happiness. However, behind it all, there seemed to be an ulterior motive. Benny seemed to want to get closer to Orna, despite Benny's repeated assurances that everything would be fine. To reassure her, Benny invited her to lunch at her husband's workplace. There, Benny invited them both to an event to be held at his home. A few days later, Benny and Orna went on a business trip out of town to give a presentation. During the meeting, Orna successfully convinced a potential client to collaborate with their company. After the event, the two returned to the hotel to rest. There, Benny asked Orna to open his bedroom door. However, after the door was opened, Benny demanded Orna come in and forced her to make out while standing. Afterward, Orna continued to think about what had happened. She even seemed afraid to meet Benny. At home, Orna's behavior was also strange. Her husband asked her what had happened. In the end, Orna came clean and told him what had happened. Unfortunately, they couldn't fight Benny. He was rich, while they were poor. Orna also decided to quit her job and look for a new one. The problem was, she needed a letter of recommendation from Benny, which her boss refused to provide. Benny wanted Orna to stay with him so he could invite her back. This naturally left Orna confused about what she should do to break up with Benny and find a new job. She talked to her husband and worked together to find a solution. Until one day, she plucked up the courage to go to Benny's house to ask for his signature on the recommendation letter. Benny was afraid that his wife would find out about what had happened. Finally, Benny agreed to sign the recommendation letter. With a smile on her face, Orna finally broke free from Benny and began her career elsewhere. And finally, the film ended.